So recently I watched Brandon Buckingham's video where he talks about how he went from being a YouTuber with 0 subscribers to a YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers. In the video, he outlines how he posted 1 video per week for 2 years straight. Considering that I've been uploading at least 3 videos a week to YouTube for 4 years straight, you'd think I'd have around the same level of notoriety as Brandon Buckingham, but that's clearly not the case. It was then that I realized the sorts of outrageous stunts and locations that Brandon would shoot in. Over the course of the video, he documents several notable stunts in locations like the Ocean City Boardwalk in Mardi Gras, New Orleans, and Austin, Texas. All these opulent cities fueled by cocaine addictions and prostitution. Venice Beach, Malibu, etc., so on and so forth. And then, of course, there are the sorts of stunts which Brandon was wont to pull, which included vomiting all over, and sexually assaulting people, and breaking into private property, public indecency, etc., so on and so forth. And I'm not really sure if I want to do any of that stuff just for the sake of YouTube views, but also, Denver just isn't the type of environment that's conducive to that kind of thing. Honestly, I think if I started vomiting in the middle of the street, nobody would care all that much. Here in the beautiful metropolis of Denver, Colorado, if people see you running naked around the streets or vomiting, they're not going to assume that you're a famous influencer or a member of the Hype House. They're going to assume you're a drug addict. The only 2 cities Brandon said he shot in his video that come even close to the level of humility and placidity displayed by Denver were Portland and Baltimore. And even they have more going on generally than Denver, and are a bit more opulent and extravagant per se. Here in Denver, there aren't any wild casinos or boardwalks or 24/7 carnivals where I can parade around my talents. I can't walk up to someone and ask them to drink a jug of piss or whatever. I'm not Steve-O. And it then occurred to me that, well, Brandon's story might be inspirational to a lot of people, how he came up from nothing and went from 0 subscribers to 100,000 subscribers in 2 years. The average person just doesn't have the level of industry connections and doesn't operate out of Los Angeles or Las Vegas or any of these giant hoi polloi millionaire playgrounds. Maybe the reason figures like Brandon Buckingham and Danny Mullen get so big isn't because their content is necessarily good, but because it's not that hard to get famous in LA. I mean, here in Denver, it's not exactly like there are just random pranksters who will approach you and go, "Hey dude, you want to vomit up the streets together?" Out here in Denver, people are generally a lot less clout hungry than that. Heck, I'm less clout hungry than that. I don't really care about reaching 100,000 subscribers, but I do think it's a little unfair that Brandon Buckingham has only been posting to YouTube for 2 years, and less frequently than me, who's been doing it for 4 years, with minimal success. But that's what I get for remaining here in the beautiful metropolis of Denver, Colorado, instead of moving out to Los Angeles and joining the Hype House alongside Brent Rivera and the Dobre twins. When I go into the supermarket, it's generally not to do a TikTok dance or backflips or pour a jug of milk all over myself. I just go in there to buy groceries. And that's what I think is kind of interesting about the Brandon Buckingham video. Not that his content is bad per se. I do think the world needs pranksters to keep it interesting, but those pranksters certainly don't exist here. Here in Denver, you're not going to see some guy streaking naked down Colfax. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I saw that once, but it wasn't a YouTube prank. It was just some naked guy. Ultimately, I think Brandon's video is interesting because it kind of illustrates in great graphic detail the process of selling out over an extensive period of time, sacrificing one's dignity and integrity to become a kind of public buffoon, a ridicule, a laughingstock for everyone to gawk at. And I could do the same thing, you know. I could put on a giant ketchup bottle costume and run screaming through the streets at the top of my lungs and make a giant circus out of myself but I honestly just don't think the payoff would be worth it, especially here in the beautiful metropolis of Denver, Colorado. So instead, I'm going to try and focus as much as possible on producing quality content on a regular basis, until the end of time, preferably. It'll probably take me around a decade to get 100,000 subscribers, or heck, it might take me a decade to get even 1,000 subscribers, because I'm not gonna dress up in a cow costume and talk about sex or whatever to a bunch of people. That's just not something that's really in my wheelhouse. And I don't know Danny Mullen. Danny Mullen has never phoned me up and said, "Hey Nick, you want to do a collab where I can dress up as Lyle Crocodile and you can dress up as Huckleberry Hound?" That's just never happened to me, because I live in Denver, and Danny Mullen doesn't live here, and nobody like that is around here. I think I've cracked the code, actually, to how to get successful as a Denverite rather than as a Los Angelino. Since I can't live a life of cocaine and drug-fueled excess like YouTube celeb Brandon Buckingham, I'm going to go and do the most exciting thing I can possibly think of, which is to sit on the shores of Cherry Creek at around 11 p.m. I sure hope this epic stunt nets me a shit ton of YouTube subscribers and clicks and fame. Watch out, Danny Mullen. Watch out, FouseyTube. There's a new prankster on the block. There's a new public provocateur. I'm gonna go and sit down by Cherry Creek at 11 p.m. in the middle of the night. Bet you didn't see that coming. Here we go. Alright, check this shit out. I'm about to pull the most epic influencer prank that's ever been pulled on the internet. This is gonna be a stunt. Alright, this is how us Denverites do it. Down here in the Queen City, or as I call it, the 303. There are a couple other names which we refer to it as. Here I am next to Cherry Creek. I'm just gonna sit here for about the next 18 minutes and just kind of sit here and think about how it is. Wow. This is so cool. This is such an epic stunt. I'm going to get like 10,000 sick views out of this shit. You know what the other thing is too? Unlike most influencers, I can't box for shit, and I have no interest in being in the next Creator Clash, punching up KSI, Jenna Marbles, Aiden Ross, any of those guys. Matter of fact, did you know that I don't know Ice Poseidon? I've never met the guy, because he might do IRL streaming on Twitch, but damned if he's ever here in the beautiful metropolis of Denver at 11 p.m. next to Cherry Creek. Wow, Cherry Creek is beautiful tonight. I just love Cherry Creek. God, this is gorgeous. It's kind of sad to consider that the Stokes twins have never seen Cherry Creek. I don't even know who the Stokes twins are. I don't even know what a Stokes is. As far as I'm concerned, stoke is just a verb, as in to stoke a fire or something like that. Is this tripod positioned right? Yeah, I guess it is. You see me? Okay. Because I want to be sure that people know that I committed to this epic stunt. You don't need to watch any Danny Mullen videos or Brandon Buckingham type videos where they go out dressed as a cow or in a Speedo or whatever. Because this is Denver influencer shit, man. This is what we do out here in the 303. Out in the crib. The life right here. That's the other thing. Why are there so many twins in Los Angeles? Is there some genetic predisposition to twins that, like, I'm not aware of or something? Like, you're just more likely to be a twin or have twins in Los Angeles? There's like the Dobre twins, there's the Stoke twins, there's Hype twins. There's so many twins. Some of them probably even aren't twins, they just say that for attention. How long has this been? I think my watch is broken, actually. Let me see. Oh. 15 minutes left in this epic challenge. Oh gosh. See, this the thing too, is that I can record this epic stunt, this epic provocateur out in public stunt where I sit next to Cherry Creek for 18 minutes straight, right? And the cops won't even get called. Unlike Brandon Buckingham when he comes out into the middle of a huge crowd in Austin, Texas, and squirts Danny Mullen with a jug of mayo. You could do that probably in Denver and the cops wouldn't even get called. They don't really give a shit over here. You could probably take a big dump in the middle of the sidewalk and the cops wouldn't even really show up. Denver isn't an authoritarian police state like Austin, Texas. Most of our oppression and racial segregation and the like is done in a pretty dull, predictable, bureaucratic fashion that doesn't exactly nab the headlines or make for the most outrageous content. I can only imagine what it must be like in Los Angeles where the cops are just like roaming around the streets and shooting everyone and pulling all these annoying pranksters over. It must be pretty crazy. But I live here in Denver like a boss. I'm the Denver influencer. This is how we roll here in Denver. You know, maybe that's why I'm not big. Is that when I go out and interview people on the street, I don't put on like an exaggerated outfit or anything. I mean, unless you count this as an exaggerated outfit. I got like a colorful scarf. It's kind of flamboyant, but like I don't do a gimmick. Like I don't do a funny accent or anything, and I don't like squirt my interviewees with mayo like Brandon Buckingham or Danny Mullen or one of these outrageous YouTube pranksters would. I guess that's why I don't get the clicks. But like I said, I do live in Denver, so even if I did do outrageous shit to people out in public, you know, if I rode up on a big unicycle honking my clown nose, I probably still wouldn't get very many views, because I live in Denver and I don't have any industry connections, and here in Denver you just don't see shit like that every day. It's not a regular occurrence that you see the Stoke twins put on some bandit masks and pretend to be bank robbers and like that. That doesn't really happen here in Denver, I don't think, all that much. Shit, is that a rat? No, it's just a leaf. There are rats down here. Even if I like brought a barbecue grill out here and stabbed a rat, deep fried it, and then ate it, I probably wouldn't get that many views, because I live in Denver. I mean, iDubbbz could do that and you'd get like 10 million views, but I live in Denver. When I say that Denver is kind of not the best for like prank type content or stunt type content, I really do mean that. Like, I don't mean I live in Canada, I don't mean I live in the South. Canada and the South, you can make some industry connections. There's famous people in both those places up the wazoo. There's no YouTubers here on YouTube from Denver who are even comparable to me. Like, none of them even come remotely close. Like, I only have about 500 subscribers at the time of me uploading this video. That's like 1 million for Denver. That's unheard of for Denver. I'm like one of the most famous people in Denver. So, I guess I've kind of already achieved what Brandon Buckingham has achieved, but like on a Denver level scale. Because Denver is not Los Angeles and it's not Las Vegas, and You don't really see pranks here. But I'm doing this epic stunt. I'm doing this epic challenge here where I sit for how much longer? Okay, yeah, 10 minutes. We're about halfway through. Gosh, this is epic. You know, like the Cancer Crew videos, you know, Maximo Fo and Filthy Frank and Anything for Views and How To Basic and iDubbbz, and they all do like the outrageous shit, you know. That just wouldn't happen here in Denver. You just wouldn't see a bunch of eccentric lunatics doing that like here in Denver. Because here in Denver, things are pretty like fucking normal. And it's a pretty, like, normal-ass city. In fact, I'd argue it's probably America's most normal city, where the most you see is, like, a pothead every now and again. You don't exactly see Filthy Frank shouting along the streets here. People aren't really, like, that desperate for attention here in Denver. Maybe that's a good thing, I don't know. Maybe if we had pranksters, it'd make stuff interesting. If there was just people doing gold digger pranks. You know, we don't have Joey Salads over here. We don't got any Joey Salads pulling up to women in his big Ferrari doing the gold digger prank. We don't have that. Because here in Denver, generally, women are respected regardless of what type of car they prefer. That's not really anything anyone's too concerned with here in Denver. Now, I guess we just roll kind of different here in Denver. Here in the 303, the beautiful metropolis of Denver, Colorado, if you would. I really like it whenever someone from Los Angeles, or not necessarily from Los Angeles, but, you know, somebody who, like, hangs out a lot in Los Angeles, like William Osmond, Brandon Buckingham in particular, they'll go like, wow, isn't this crazy that I'm getting famous in the famous city where all the famous people are? It's like, yeah, oh, shit. Getting that sewage stench from Cherry Creek. It smells kind of like runoff at a certain point. Just sort of pick it up. But like, you know, William Osmond will be like, hey, I'ma put a Rice Krispie, sawdust in a Rice Krispie, and see if you can tell how much the Rice Krispie is to the sawdust, right? And like, if just some random guy did this, because I've seen plenty of channels that have like 10 views, where someone will pull a stunt like that, right? They'll like shave off their eyebrows or something really wacky and, you know, out of left field, really, really crazy, and they hope they're gonna get the views. But they don't live in Los Angeles, so they get like 10 views for that. And then William Osmond puts like sawdust in a Rice Krispie. He gets like 10 million views. I mean, of course, it helps that he's in Los Angeles and that his best friend is iDubbbz. That probably assists a bit in the pushing of the content. There's that video where like William Osmond and a bunch of his friends all crowd into like a little car, like one of those little cars you buy for like 5-year-olds, and they try and do a road trip on it through Los Angeles. And it's like, you know, you kind of have to wonder, like, would he have that many views if it wasn't in Los Angeles, and if iDubbbz wasn't in it? If iDubbbz wasn't in that video, it probably wouldn't get that many views, and nobody would probably care that much that there's a guy in a little car driving a little car around. Like, if I did that here on the Cherry Creek bike path or anywhere in Denver, nobody would probably care. They'd just be like, oh, a drug addict, okay, great. Of course, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke pot. I maintain a consistent sobriety. It's actually sort of boring. I'm actually kind of bored all the time because I don't do drugs. I don't live this life of excess. I'm not a prude or anything, you know. If you want to hire 1,000 prostitutes and go to the casinos in Atlantic City and, you talk to strippers on the boardwalk and do a shit ton of cocaine with them. If you want to be Brandon Buckingham, go ahead, but that's not exactly feasible here in Denver, because we Denverites just roll a bit different, man. And this is the ultimate YouTube stunt. Dang, maybe I'll get like 20 million views off of this shit. I mean, this is the ultimate YouTube stunt right here. I'm sitting next to Cherry Creek at like 11:06 p.m. at night, and I'm listening to the water and looking at the apartment buildings that are up here. This one's pretty cool. I like this one. This is a neat apartment building. See, this is what we have here in Denver. We don't have like Brent Rivera to keep us entertained. We don't got any Shane Dawson. Or wait, do we have Shane Dawson? He was in Colorado a little while back. Maybe he still is. I don't know. He's not a Denverite. He's not going to convince me he's a Denverite. He's probably already left. He's probably back in Los Angeles at this point. It's not like he was here in Denver. He's like the mountain. Shit, why do I know this much about these stupid influencers? They're so boring. So boring. I mean, sitting next to Cherry Creek is more exciting than watching a Shane Dawson video. Really, when you get right down to it, I feel like it is. How much time? Is that a rat? No, that's just a stick. How much time do I have left? Okay, 3 minutes, hombres. 3 minutes and like 40 seconds. We're cutting it close to the wire here. This is an epic stunt. I'm practically Mr. Beast right now, you know. If you like this video, be sure and subscribe and view and like for all this Hype Beast content. All this Hype House content. This is the greatest thing since Charlie D'Amelio. You better get your TikTok out. You better put this shit on TikTok. It's gonna get huge on TikTok. It's gonna get like 100 million views. Everyone's gonna be remixing it to what I'm saying right here. Everyone's gonna be lip syncing along with me, and that's gonna be great. I'm gonna get so huge on TikTok, the video app that is inferior to YouTube in nearly every conceivable way, because it places a length restriction on videos, which kind of defeats the point of being able to upload a video of absolutely any length onto the internet for free for people to watch, which is the reason I use YouTube. But I bet this is going to get giant on TikTok also. I love TikTok. I love the Hype House. Yeah, I'm just one of the influencers out here just doing this swag. I got my swag on. Hey, Netflix, you know how you did the Hype House Netflix special? When do I get my special? I'm the Nick House. I'm the content house of one. Out here in the 303. Out here in the beautiful metropolis of Denver, Colorado out here. Or as we in the know like to call it, the Denver, yo. I'm out here, and pulling the most legendary, epic YouTube stunt of all time, yo. This is next level, bruh. This is the real content right here. Stick around, and it's gonna be hype, yo. Wow. Yeah, I'm the new dope ray, bro. I'm the new gosh dang what's her name, Nikita Dragon or whatever. I'm the new influencer, yo. Wow, this is so hype. This is so fucking awesome. I'm really committing the ultimate stunt right here. I'm really putting in the extra mile for this hype content, yo. Remember to drink Bang energy drinks and G Fuel, and use checkout at gfuel.com. It's delicious poison that will give you diabetes and probably give you cardiac arrhythmia. It's wonderful. Bang energy drinks and G Fuel. That's what I subsist off of. And like whatever that. What's like an influencer? Oh yeah, Mr. Beast Burger. I like live off Mr. Beast Burger. I eat nothing but Mr. Beast Burger. Cause I'm living in LA, yo. No way. Wait, this isn't LA. This is like Denver here. I did it. I did the ultimate YouTube stunt. I sat next to Cherry Creek for like 18 minutes or so. So I'm basically Brandon Buckingham now. So tomorrow I'll probably have like 300,000 subscribers, and this should be so cool. I'm so glad that Brandon Buckingham, who's been on YouTube for 2 years less than me and uploads less content and dresses up like a sausage or whatever. I'm so glad he uploaded his video, how I became a YouTuber, 0 to 100,000 subscribers, which you should go watch because it's awesome, and it really teaches us fledgling YouTubers who are trying to get big in the content game how to make it big. And the secret to becoming a big time YouTube sensation is you gotta live in LA, be best friends with Danny Mullen, and own a shit ton of excessive costumes, and go around and harass random strangers in public. And that's the Los Angeles dream, baby. Woo! Anyway, I can't live the Los Angeles dream. I have to settle for living the Denver dream. But there you go. That's the ultimate YouTube stunt. I've completed the most epic, pranktacular video to ever hit the web. So, yeah. Dope Rape Bros, you better watch out. Stoke Twins, I'm coming for you. You don't stand a chance at this point, okay? Anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. Like and subscribe.